Hello, Foxy Finds here, and welcome to another video where I work on catching 366 shiny Pokemon in just as many days. I need to find a better name for this challenge. Anyway, let's jump right in. So with the code ShinyBuddy, you could get a shiny Lucario in Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet. Just barely made this giveaway in time. It ended on July 3rd. Lucario is one of the few Pokemon that had a movie centered on it, while it's not a legendary or mythical Pokemon. They knew from the start it was going to be a hit. This Pokemon takes inspiration from jackals, and it can sense and manipulate auras. So this allows it to understand the intentions and sometimes the immediate actions of those around it. This Pokemon is one of the few that was included in the Super Smash Bros. Series. In it, its key mechanic is that the more damage it takes without dying, the stronger its attacks become. This is visible when it uses Aura Sphere. Next up, we have Squawkabilly. This was an interesting hunt because the outbreak was right next to a city. This allowed for me to quickly cycle through which Pokemon were spawning and despawning. But I had to be careful that I didn't have a shiny Pokemon spawn and then take a step too far and have it despawn on me. It did take me a little while to find this one, but I was keeping an eye on the color of that pompadour. On that note, Squawkabilly is based off of a parrot with a pompadour. Not too much more to say on that. They have it able to imitate human speech, but they don't indicate that it has an understanding of syntax. It seems to have the same intelligence level as most other Pokemon. In general, this is just parrot in the Pokemon world. Though it does come in 4 varieties, so you get your pick of yellow, green, blue, or white. Now on to Meryl. This was the purest hunt. I didn't look for this Pokemon, it just showed up. I was just traveling around. Meryl has a lot of trivia behind it, especially with its introduction, so let me see if I can rapid fire through some of these. One of the first Pokemon of Gen 2 to be revealed, it was showcased in a Pikachu short that aired before the first Pokemon movie. Its rumored name was Peekaboo, based off of its similar qualities that it shared to Pikachu. People thought that it was an alternate evolution to Pikachu that was somehow hidden within the source code of the games. This name, Peekaboo, became so prevalent that it was actually mentioned in a printed source in error. This Pokemon went from pure water type to water fairy type. As shown in the beta versions of the Gen 2 games, Meryl originally had a pink coloration, and its tail was missing the zigzag pattern it now has. I think that about covers it for Meryl. On to the next one. We are finishing off this week with Pokemon Go's first Community Day of the year. We have Rowlet. Rowlet is the only starter Pokemon to be introduced to have a dual type, where its secondary type changes upon reaching its final evolution. This gives it the rare instance where a Pokemon loses an immunity upon evolving, though it does gain 2 in return. In Pokemon Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon, there is a Dartrix that was owned by a trainer who passed away. When this occurred, Dartrix decided it didn't want to leave its Pokeball anymore. This is the first instance where they're shown that a Pokemon can choose freely whether or not it leaves the Pokeball. In this instance, it was able to find a happy ending as it was reunited with the grandchild of its original owner, and it decided it was ready to come out. Dartrix is able to shoot sharp feathers off of its body as if they were darts. Decidueye has upgraded this ability to shoot its feathers long distances with deadly accuracy as if they were arrows. Based off of an extinct species of owl that lived in Hawaii, thus why it has ghost typing. A interesting nod to this is that in Pokemon's Legends Arceus, Hisuian Decidueye was no longer ghost type, but instead fighting. And with that, we have our last shinies for the week. As you can probably tell, this channel is going to go through a lot of changes as I work on refining this process. YouTube is a lot of work, but Rome wasn't built in a day, and I can assure you neither is this channel. I hope you enjoy the changes I bring forward as we watch this channel grow together. Next week, we'll have a whole new set of Pokemon hunts to go through, and hopefully you'll learn a thing or two. If you have your own Pokemon facts to share, please leave them in the comments and maybe I'll learn a thing or two as well. That's it for this video. Goodbye for now, and as always, happy hunting.